Want to run faster, jump higher, move with more power? The Sports Recovery and Development Program at Bridges Therapy Group builds speed, strength, agility, and endurance while correcting movement issues that can cause injury. Give your athlete the edge. Schedule an assessment today at srdathlete.com.
Love where you live and play with Lindsay Management. Affordable apartments and golf memberships at 9 and 18-hole courses. Buying or selling? Trust Lindsay and Associates. Serving the community for over 50 years. Lindsay, #1 in apartments, golf, and real estate.
I think it helps me just definitely know that it's not me, it's not my doing, and that this gift I have is not for any of the glory, but it's to represent Christ and give it all to Him. And I think in that I can lead the other guys and help them.
This is Varsity Vibe Stories, brought to you by Lewis Automotive. Letting his abilities speak for themselves is how Jeff Regan has always played the game. The senior for the Rogers Mounties went from an all-purpose guy to a record-breaking quarterback and now a leader in his final season of high school football. As a junior, he rushed for over 1,000 yards and threw for over 2,000 yards, something no quarterback in the 7A has ever done. He's not flashy or boastful or looking for recognition. He's just a football player who's loved the game since he was a kid. The one thing Rogers is still in search of is a state title. And if there's a guy who can help lead them there, it's #1. Here's my conversation with Rogers quarterback Jeff Regan. Entering this senior year, after what you were able to accomplish your junior year, from the stats on the paper to the win column, what was the biggest thing you wanted to focus on your last year of high school football?
I think the leadership aspect. I think just being able to guide the younger generation, just the younger guys. I think definitely leaving an impact on them is definitely something I want to do this year. And yeah.
When you entered into your junior year and you really took over that quarterback role compared to what you were as more of a Swiss Army knife of sorts as a sophomore, where did you have to change your mentality the most between being a all-around guy who can do a little bit of everything to really now being a quarterback that's leading this football team?
Definitely a lot of patience. A lot more mental than I'm used to. 10th grade year is a lot more physical. I didn't have to speak much. I just went and did everything. But this, the last year and this year is a lot more mental, a lot more vocal, and just being able to lead. I think that's the biggest change.
Did that come natural, or was it something you really had to work on?
I'm not the most outspoken, but I definitely think it's gotten better. But I think I try to lead as best I can. So it's definitely not the most natural, but it's getting better.
Some people lead by example, some lead vocally,
Mhm.
and I know that can be hard if it's kind of out of your comfort zone. But do you feel like it was easier for you because the guys trust you as much as they do around you?
Oh, most definitely, yeah. I think just the group of guys I'm surrounded by makes my job so much easier.
Junior year, when you're starting to kind of see things come into place, right? And you're finding success, and next thing you know, you're putting up the stats that you're putting up. When you looked back on that year, because I'm sure it was kind of hard to um, see the big picture when it's happening. When you look back at last year,
Mhm.
what do you think about it? What do you reflect on the most?
I think just how much fun I had with the dudes. I enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite years of football. So yeah.
Did it just come natural? Was it one of those things where just like one performance built on the next and the next and the next?
Yeah, I think just as the year went on, we continue to get better, and I think myself, I continue to get better and just more in tune with the play calls and everything. So yeah.
And do you think there was a moment where you were just like, okay, I got this? Like maybe some of those nerves had brushed off your shoulders and you felt like this is my team to lead and that's what I want to do.
I definitely think so. I definitely think after the Fayetteville game, once we went out there and performed pretty well, I realized that yeah, we got this. I can do this, and that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Through all of that too, you're going through the recruiting process
Yes, ma'am.
and you're headed to Air Force next year.
Yes,
Talk
ma'am.
me through the recruiting process while your junior year is unfolding the way that it is.
It started off pretty slow, not too hot. Started with Harding and Washington. Air Force came around later, and I was like, it kind of surprised me because I wasn't really like expecting that or Army, but I was really grateful for it, and I knew like long term that's something I'd want to do, and something that'd be a good benefit to me and my family.
Mhm.
So I think I think initially I kind of just had a feeling I would choose between there or Army, and that's what ended up happening.
Talk to me about, how all that unfolded. You said it kinda came out of nowhere, and so when you got that phone call from the coaches at both of those schools, at Air Force and Army, what were those moments like?
I was really shocked. I was really nervous. But I I mean, he just called me, and I thought it was gonna be like a normal call because we were chatting for a little bit, and I didn't really think too much of it. But then he said we'd like to offer you a scholarship, and like I kind of like froze for a second because I didn't really like I was just lost. But after like everything like settled down, I was like, that's crazy. Like I'm so grateful. Like that's awesome.
How long did it take you to decide between those 2 programs?
It took me a good while. I had to go visit both of them and just see like the people, the area, all that, and really determine what I wanted from a school and from the people there. So yeah,
What was it about Air Force that set it apart?
I think a lot of it was just the area. Like I like the mountains. I like being around the mountains, and I definitely think the coaches are great at both places, but I think the coaches at Air Force are a lot more like my coaches here,
Mhm.
and I think I really like that. So
How nice was it to kinda have that weight off your shoulder? As you said, it kinda came as a surprise, but once that
yes, ma'am.
process was over, you've got something to look forward to once your high school playing days are over.
Oh, it was awesome. It's definitely relieving knowing that like my efforts were acknowledged and the work I put in. But I just more than anything, I'm just grateful and blessed.
What's your role gonna be there?
I'll be playing quarterback.
Okay, so you will kinda stay there, and, I mean, you can do a little bit of everything, right?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
talked about
Yes, ma'am.
that, but they wanna keep you back there in the pocket.
Yes, ma'am. A
Okay,
lot of
alright.
running.
There you go. There you go. Well, and it's one of those things where it's just exciting, right? To play at the next level, as you mentioned, all the hard work that you've put in. I mean, talk to me about your football career from start to finish, and as you look ahead to the next step, reflecting a little bit back on where it all started.
Yeah, I started flag football in like first grade, and then started tackling about third grade. So I've been playing for most of my life. It's been crazy. Played with a lot of different people, a lot of good dudes, and it's weird to think that we're about to graduate and go play with a whole set of new dudes. Like I just think it's crazy, but I'm excited and I'm ready for it.
How much do you look back on playing football and think it really helped you and shape who you are off the football field?
I definitely think it's played a huge factor. Like I said, the people that I've met, they've definitely impacted my life in multiple ways. I think also just the things you learn, like discipline and all that stuff that comes with it. I definitely it just plays a huge impact both in your personal life and in the school building.
In an article written about Reagan prior to the season, head coach Chad Harbison described him with 2 words. Find out those 2 words and how his faith has helped shape him on and off the field after this.
If you're an athlete that wants to improve your game, maybe improve your 40, jump higher, have better agility, Bridges Therapy Group's Sport Recovery and Development Program can help. They've been helping student athletes reach their highest potential for quite a while now. They've got a team that includes physical therapists, athletic trainers, personal trainers, and occupational therapists. And together, they design individual plans to build speed, explosive power, agility, strength, and endurance. Whether your athlete's returning from rehab or working for a competitive edge, SRD provides the training and guidance to help them succeed. Schedule your athlete's assessment today at srdathlete.com.
QuickTurf is the go-to team for building championship-level sports facilities for public schools, private schools, and the entire school district. They also install beautiful backyard putting greens for homeowners. Known for lifelike, eco-friendly turf, QuickTurf handles everything from design and lighting to drainage and final landscaping. Their all-in-one approach delivers high-performance surfaces for athletes and low-maintenance greens that last for years. With preventative maintenance programs, they keep every field and green looking game day ready. Schedule a free consultation today at quickturf.com. That's QIKturf.com.
Matt Lewis with Lewis Automotive Group, excited to announce our trade-in, trade-up event. During this event, you get thousands extra for your trade value. Plus, it's all backed by the Lewis Guarantee. Double the factory warranty. That's a 10-year, 120,000-mile powertrain. Plus, you get 1 year worth of maintenance on us. This event's only going on at Lewis Automotive Group and is at all of our locations in Fayetteville, Springdale, and Farmington.
Could a little extra support help your child shine even brighter? Bridges Therapy Group empowers kids to live their best life with expert pediatric therapy services tailored to their needs. Their team offers occupational therapy, speech therapy, and physical therapy, guiding families from the first evaluation to every milestone along the way. Give your child the tools to succeed and shine. Visit btgpeds.com to learn more and schedule your appointment today. That's btgpeds.com.
Love where you live and play with Lindsay Management. Enjoy affordable apartments with community amenities like fitness centers and resort-style pools at select locations. Golf memberships are also available at beautiful 9 and 18-hole courses. Buying or selling a home, commercial, or investment property? Trust Lindsay and Associates, serving the community and bringing great neighbors together for over 50 years. Lindsay, #1 in apartments, golf, and real estate.
You know, I read an article and I think Coach talked to you and said you're steady and you're humble. And those are two things that really define you. Why do you think that makes you such a good football player?
I think when you can just go one game at a time and not worry about like your own personal stats and own personal goods and all of that, I think it helps you think more of the team and be there for the guys and just be able to like lead in that way.
This senior year, you talk about how crazy it is to think that it's almost over. Have you thought much more about that, about this being the last year that you get to wear a Rodgers uniform?
A little bit. I think as each week goes by, it's like, dang, that's 1 week less of football in high school. And it's just starting to dawn on me that I won't have this forever. So I think it's just getting worse and worse.
What do you want to remember most about it when it is all said and done?
If we won a state chip, that'd be cool. I'd like to remember that. But I think just hanging out with the guys, just spending time with them. You know, I love these guys. I love just being able to be with them every day and work through it. So yeah.
How has Coach Harbison helped mold you as a player on and off the field and really helped guide you through your football career in high school?
He's just been a great inspiration. He's always there for me, and he's always understanding of what it was. When I was coming into the program, I wasn't too like on football. I was everywhere on baseball, and I think he just really helped me keep my stuff collected and just keep my head together and just help me stay disciplined.
How much has he also helped you to just learn the game? I know so much is mental and so much of it is just kind of knowing the play and watching things unfold even before they happen. How is that growth and how has he helped you there?
Oh, he's helped me a lot. Coming into it, I didn't really think about like 90% of the things I think about now. I would just think, get the football and run. But now I got to process pre-snap, post-snap, during snap. And like, it's just a lot of like little things that people don't think about, but he walks us through it. He walks us through it really well. And it just helps me a ton.
Yeah, you grow as a player and it goes from just playing a game that you love and to really breaking it down and the X's and O's and watching film. How much have you developed as a player, on that side of the game and not just on the field?
Yeah, I think a lot. I think film is huge. I think it's, especially for quarterbacks, it's huge to just know and expect what's to come. And I think getting into that film has helped me a ton, just like preparation, just not for myself, but also for the team and like what to expect. So I think it's huge.
I'm curious. There are so many good players in the 7A West, and all you
Yeah.
play. I feel like a guy who's going to play D1 football on every roster, on every team that you
Yes,
play.
ma'am.
Do you feel a little underlooked and underrated in this league?
Um, no, I wouldn't say so.
Okay.
I think sometimes I feel that way, but overall, I just whatever recognition I get, I get. I'm not too worried about it really, because there's a ton of talent out there and ton of studs. So like it is what it is. Whatever I get, and I'm grateful for any of it. So
You seem like a guy who just lets the play on Friday speak for themselves.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
When it's all said and done, what do you want people to remember you for with Rogers football and the legacy you leave behind?
I think I think football is very important. It's very important in my life. But I want people to remember me for my faith and just like how I walked, not like just what I can do out there, but who I am as a person. And I think my faith is a huge part of that, and I want that to be like known and presented. So yeah.
I love that you bring that up. Can we talk a little bit more about that? I
Yes,
mean,
ma'am.
where when you look at your faith and how grounded you are in that,
Mhm.
how does that help lead you?
I think I think it helps me just definitely like know that it's not me, it's not my doing. Um, and that this gift I have is not for like any of the glory, but it's to represent Christ and give it all to Him. And I think in that I can lead the other guys and help them in a way that it's not always like mainstream and everything, but like really preach the word to them and try to get them on the right path, and help them any way I can.
Do you feel like that's somewhere where you find your strength when things are going good and when things are maybe not going so good?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Definitely. And good or bad, I rely on Him. There's no one else I'd rather rely on. So yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Tell me about your pregame ritual. Do you have any superstitions? Do you have any things that you do to get yourself mentally ready every game?
Um, I like I like listening to worship music and praying. I definitely think having those before the game really helps me just calm down and settle into it. And yeah, it just gets my head in the right space.
You have any go-tos right now?
I've been listening to a lot of I think it's Jonathan Napolis.
Mhm.
It's called Secret Place, and I've been listening to that one a lot. I like it.
Well, last question for me. When you look at this Rogers football team, and I kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, and you said character, but truly, to win a state title this
Mhm.
season, Rogers is going to have to do what?
I think just stay focused, stay locked in. Gets like later in the season, you get tired, you get beat up, but I think just being able to focus on one game at a time, one play at a time, just doing the little things right, and I think if we can do that, then we'll have a good shot.
A special thank you to Reagan for sharing his story and this conversation with us. That is going to do it for Varsity Vibes Stories. Thank you so much for joining us. A special shout out to our sponsors, Lewis Automotive, Lindsay, Bridges Therapy Group, and Quick Trip. I'll be back next time with more stories to tell.